In this video, I want to talk about the two kids that froze in the car. Anytime kids die is a tragedy, but it's also something that we can learn from.
I want to paint a little picture of what these children have been enduring. When police went up to the van earlier today to seize evidence, they found just a couple of blankets inside, and the two children that were frozen to death, the 2-year-old wearing a t-shirt and a pull-up, and the 9-year-old wearing a t-shirt and joggers. Police say this is now a full-blown criminal investigation.
This was unnecessary. It didn't have to happen this way.
Investigators shaken at this unimaginable tragedy. One phone call could have prevented it all.
The female says child not breathing. They are car at Greektown Casino parking structure.
Around 1 a.m. Monday morning, a gray minivan pulled into the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking structure, parked on the 9th floor. Either it ran out of gas or had a mechanical issue, leaving the family of 6 without heat.
Around noon, the mother inside the van, along with 5 children, noticed that one of the children wasn't breathing. And she called family to come help, to convey to Children's Hospital.
That was the 2-year-old. Then not long after, the mom called the same family member, their godmother, to say the 9-year-old child was not breathing. Both were taken to Children's Hospital downtown, pronounced dead. Doctors believe they froze to death.
Amelia was 2 years old, and they found her that she only had a t-shirt and a pull-up. And Darnell Jr., he had on a t-shirt and jogging pants, and there wasn't a lot of blankets within the van itself. Anytime a situation has happened, we can learn from it and move forward from it. So that's what this video is more about. The temperature that night was, I think it was around 32 or below 32 degrees, which is basically freezing. Those kids should have had on more clothes than just t-shirts and a pull-up or t-shirts and a jogger. Kids lose body heat quicker than adults, so they have to be bundled up in order to stay warm, in order to hold their body heat. So I feel that they may have had a chance to survive if they had on more clothes and if there was more blankets, and people huddled together, because that also produces body heat, which will keep you warm in a situation like that.
I went to the gym. As soon as I got on the treadmill, she called saying, "Can I make it to the hospital right now?" They got me. I was hoping it was a sick joke, but it wasn't.
According to Detroit police, 9-year-old Darnell Jr. and 2-year-old Amelia died while sleeping in a vehicle at the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking garage. Investigators say the cause appears to be hypothermia, a tragedy stemming from homelessness.
I asked for help. I asked everybody, even people out of state, but I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me. People just didn't like too many kids at their house.
I spoke with the children's mother Tuesday evening. She told me she's been living in her vehicle for 3 months, along with her 4 kids, her mother, and 2 teenage siblings. She says she reached out to Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, "Can you get your kids for me?" I said, "I need help. I'm homeless. I kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more."
They were homeless. Had Tateona ever reached out asking to...
No, she did not. All she said was, "Can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless?" That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
See, that's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
Curry, who lives in Novi, says Williams never specified why she wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, "Can I get them for a couple of days?" But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss.
It upsets me a lot of time when it comes to men dealing with kids, especially men that are not in the household with their kids. They want to put everything on the mother. The mother is responsible for everything. And in a lot of cases, they're not even helping out financially with their kids or spending time with their kids. To hear him say, if she would have told me that she was homeless, I would have got the kids. I feel that when it comes to your kids, the mother should not have to go into details. If she coming to you and saying, hey, take the kids for a couple of days, that's letting you know that maybe she's stressed out, maybe she's upset, maybe she needs a break. And as a father, those are your kids. And if you could not have came and got them at that time because you're working, just like you stated, that your family would have taken them. So as a man and as a father, I feel that he should have said, okay, let me reach out to my family because I can't get my kids right now. Let me reach out to my family and have them take them for a couple of days. And then when I have the opportunity, I will go down there and get them. I don't feel that a woman should have to explain to a man why he needs to spend time with his kids. I don't feel like in that situation she owed him an explanation as far as come get your kids.
Here's what I am told from the housing department that we do know. That this family reached out to our homeless response team on November 25th. They had reached out earlier in the summer and even back into the previous year, but reached out on November 25th essentially saying they had been living with the family. They were no longer going to be able to keep living with that family and needed a place to go. And in the course of that conversation, there was no resolution reached on where they would go. And one of the things that's important when you call our homeless services folks is that if it's an emergency situation, we send out one of these outreach workers. Because when you're on the telephone, you have people with complicated problems. Sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly what the circumstance is. Is it an emergency? But when a homeless outreach worker goes and lays eyes on the family and sees what's going on, they know exactly what to do. For whatever reason, this wasn't deemed an emergency that caused an outreach worker to visit the family. 3 weeks later, we opened the Family Drop-In Center on December 16th. It was exactly the type of situation we opened it for. We were opening it to be ahead of the worst temperatures of the winter. At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back again for service. And as far as we've been able to tell, our homeless staff never proactively reached out to say, what happened with your situation? Was it resolved? Or to indicate that there might be a room available. And so we have to make sure that we do everything possible to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And I'm not trying to talk about an individual employee. I'm talking about the system as a whole. Are we doing everything to make sure people in this city know how to access this critical care?
Like I was saying earlier, it's a tragedy when situations like this happen and kids pass away because they froze to death, basically because they didn't have anywhere to stay, being homeless. The city, I'm glad they're looking into things they can do to prevent this from happening to another family or to anyone else, especially you're looking at 38 to 32 degrees or lower, winter time. There should always be somewhere for the homeless to go to keep warm so they're not dying in the streets. And so this does open eyes to not only Detroit, but other cities that has freezing temperatures. What are they going to have available for their homeless people? And do they have housing or somewhere that they can put these families until they get back on their feet?